everyone, and welcome back to Mr. English Daily, where we practice real English that people actually use every day.
Hi, Anna. Hi, everyone. I'm really happy to be here today because this topic is super useful for daily conversations.
Yes, today we are talking about everyday English words that native speakers use all the time without even thinking.
Exactly, and these are not textbook words, but simple expressions that make your English sound more natural and relaxed.
Before we start, I just want to say thank you for learning with us and practicing English step by step.
That's right, and remember that small daily practice can really change how confident you feel when speaking.
Okay, Jack, let's start with a word people hear often at work and in daily life, which is actually.
Yes, actually is very common, and we often use it to correct information in a soft and polite way.
For example, you might say, I thought the meeting was today, but actually it's tomorrow.
Right, and when you say it like that, it sounds calm and natural, not rude or too direct.
I also use actually when I want to share my real feeling or opinion gently.
Me too, like when someone asks if I like coffee, I might say, actually, I prefer tea.
That sounds friendly and honest at the same time, which is very important in real conversations.
Exactly, and you can hear native speakers use actually many times in one conversation.
Another word that sounds very natural is probably, which shows something is likely but not 100% sure.
Yes, for example, I'll probably finish work around 6, means you are not completely sure, but it's very possible.
I often say, it will probably rain later, when I see dark clouds in the sky.
That's a perfect example, because you are sharing your feeling without making a strong promise.
Now let's talk about two small but powerful expressions, kind of and sort of.
These are great when you want to sound softer or less direct in daily conversations.
For instance, you can say, I'm kind of tired today, instead of saying you are very tired.
Yes, and the movie was sort of boring means it wasn't terrible, but not very interesting either.
These phrases help you express feelings in a more relaxed and natural way.
Native speakers love using them because they make conversations feel easier and less serious.
Another very useful phrase is deal with, which we often use when talking about problems or tasks.
Right, you might hear someone say, I have to deal with a lot of emails today.
That means they need to manage or handle something, not just look at it.
I often say, I need to deal with this problem before I relax, especially at work.
It's a very common phrase in both work and personal life.
Absolutely, and it sounds very natural when you use it correctly.
Now let's move away from work and talk about everyday conversation words.
Great idea, because these words help conversations flow smoothly.
One of my favorite expressions is guess what, because it creates excitement.
Yes, when someone says, guess what, you immediately want to listen.
For example, guess what, I got a new job today, sounds exciting and friendly.
Or you can say, guess what, I met an old friend on the train, which feels very natural.
Another common phrase is by the way, which we use to add extra information.
Right, like by the way, did you see my message yesterday?
It's perfect when you remember something small but important during a conversation.
Native speakers use by the way all the time without thinking about it.
Then we have the word anyway, which is great for changing direction in a conversation.
For example, anyway, let's get back to our topic, sounds very smooth.
I also use it when I want to end a story and move on naturally.
Yes, it helps conversations feel organized but still relaxed.
Now let's talk about I mean, which is extremely common in spoken English.
I use I mean when I want to explain my idea more clearly.
For example, it was difficult, I mean, harder than I expected, sounds very natural.
Exactly, it gives you time to think and helps the listener understand you better.
These small expressions may seem simple, but they make a big difference.
I agree, and once you start using them, your English will sound much more fluent.
Now let's move to words we often use at home in daily life.
Yes, home is where we use many simple but important words.
A very common one is leftovers, especially after dinner.
Right, leftovers means food that you didn't finish and save for later.
I often say, we're having leftovers for lunch tomorrow, to save time.
That's practical and very natural English.
Another common word is messy, which describes something not clean or organized.
For example, my room is messy today because I was busy, sounds very real.
It doesn't mean dirty, just not tidy.
Exactly, and native speakers use it all the time.
One more useful verb is fix, which means to repair something.
Like saying, I need to fix the sink because it's leaking.
That sentence is very natural and easy to understand.
Yes, and you can use fix for many daily problems.
Okay, Jack, I think we've covered many useful words so far.
We really have, and this is only the beginning of today's conversation.
Now let's continue with some everyday words people use when talking about feelings, reactions, and daily situations.
Yes, these words are very common, especially when people want to react quickly in conversations.
One simple reaction word is really, which we often use to show interest or surprise.
For example, if you hear good news, you might say, really, that's great to hear.
I also say really when I want someone to continue their story.
Right, like saying, really, and what happened next, which sounds friendly and natural.
Another very common word is pretty, but not just to describe how someone looks.
Yes, we also use pretty to mean quite or fairly in daily English.
For instance, I'm pretty tired today because I didn't sleep well last night.
That sentence sounds very natural and not too strong or dramatic.
I like using pretty because it softens what I'm saying.
Native speakers do that a lot, especially when talking about feelings or opinions.
Now let's talk about stuff, which is one of the most useful casual words.
Stuff is great because you can use it when you don't want to name everything exactly.
For example, I have a lot of stuff to do today, sounds very normal.
Yes, and it can mean work, chores, or small tasks all together.
I also say, I need to buy some stuff at the store when I don't want to be specific.
That's very common in daily conversations.
Another helpful word is things, which is similar to stuff but slightly more general.
You might hear, I have a few things to finish before dinner.
Both words help you speak faster and more naturally.
And they help you avoid stopping to think about the perfect word.
Now let's move to expressions we use when we are busy or stressed.
Yes, these are very useful for work and daily life.
One common phrase is a lot going on, which describes a busy situation.
For example, I have a lot going on this week, so I feel tired.
That sentence sounds honest and natural, especially in casual conversations.
I use it when friends ask how I'm doing.
Another phrase is take care of, which means to handle or manage something.
Like saying, I need to take care of some work emails tonight.
It sounds calmer than saying you are stressed or overwhelmed.
Yes, and it feels polite and responsible.
Now let's talk about pick up, which has many meanings in daily English.
One meaning is to collect something, like I'll pick up the kids after school.
Another meaning is to buy something quickly, such as I'll pick up some milk.
Native speakers use pick up all the time without thinking.
It's a great example of a simple phrase with many uses.
Once you hear it often, you'll start using it naturally too.
Let's move to conversation fillers that help you sound more relaxed.
Yes, these words help you think while speaking.
A very common one is you know, which helps connect ideas.
For example, I was tired, after working all day.
It gives you time to think and keeps the listener engaged.
Native speakers use it naturally, not on purpose.
Another similar expression is I guess, which shows you are not completely sure.
Like saying, I guess I'll stay home tonight because I'm tired.
That sounds soft and natural, not too strong.
It's perfect for daily decisions.
Now let's talk about words people use when they agree.
One easy word is exactly, which shows strong agreement.
For example, exactly, that's what I was thinking.
It sounds friendly and confident at the same time.
Another one is that makes sense, which is very polite.
Yes, you can say, that makes sense, thanks for explaining.
It shows you understand without interrupting.
Native speakers love using this phrase.
Now let's move to simple words we use when something is easy.
One common word is easy, but we often add pretty or really.
For example, this app is pretty easy to use.
That sentence sounds relaxed and natural.
I also say, it's really easy once you practice a little.
That's encouraging and friendly.
These small changes make your English sound more real.
And they help you sound less like a textbook.
Before we move on, I want listeners to remember something important.
Yes, please remember that learning these words takes time.
But if you listen carefully and practice a little every day, these expressions will slowly become natural for you.
And one day, you'll notice that you are using them without thinking, just like native speakers do.
Now let's slow down a little and talk about how these everyday words come together in real conversations.
Yes, because knowing words is helpful, but using them naturally in a full sentence is the real goal.
Imagine you meet a friend after work and you want to talk about your day in a relaxed way.
You might say something like, I was pretty busy today, but it was actually not as stressful as I expected.
That sentence sounds very natural because it uses soft words instead of strong or dramatic ones.
And it feels like real life, not a language exercise.
Let's try another example with feelings, which many learners find difficult to express.
Yes, feelings are important in daily conversations.
You could say, I'm kind of tired today because I had a lot going on at work and I didn't sleep very well.
That sentence flows naturally and sounds honest, not strange or forced.
Notice how you don't need difficult grammar to sound fluent.
You just need simple words in the right places.
Now think about a casual conversation with a coworker or classmate.
You might hear someone say, "I guess I'll just grab something quick for lunch because I'm pretty busy today."
That sentence uses several everyday expressions that native speakers use all the time.
And it sounds relaxed, like something you hear in an office or school hallway.
Let's talk about how people explain small problems in daily life.
Yes, problems don't always need big words.
You could say, I need to deal with some stuff at home tonight, so I'll probably stay in.
That sentence feels friendly and normal, not serious or heavy.
I like that it shows your situation without too much detail.
Native speakers often do that to keep conversations light.
Now let's practice a longer sentence that combines ideas naturally.
Okay, let's do it.
You might say, actually, I wanted to go out tonight, but I'm sort of tired and I still have a few things to finish.
That sentence sounds exactly like something you hear in real life.
It shows choice, feeling, and reason in one smooth sentence.
And it doesn't sound like you planned it ahead of time.
That's the key to sounding natural.
Let's talk about short reactions people use in conversations.
One very common reaction is simply saying, "Oh, really?" when you hear something interesting.
Yes, and you can change your tone to show surprise, interest, or curiosity.
Another reaction is "that makes sense," which is very polite and supportive.
You can say, "That makes sense, thanks for explaining it to me."
This kind of response helps conversations feel comfortable and friendly.
People like talking to you when you respond this way.
Now let's imagine a short daily conversation using many of these words.
Okay, I'll start.
Go ahead.
Hey, how was your day today? You look pretty tired.
Yeah, I was busy all day, and I had a lot going on, but it was actually okay.
That makes sense. Work can be like that sometimes.
This short exchange sounds very real and easy to follow.
And it uses simple words that beginners can learn quickly.
Now I want to remind our listeners of something important.
Yes, this is very important.
You don't need to use all these expressions at once, and you don't need to sound perfect.
It's better to choose one or two expressions and practice using them in your daily life.
For example, try using actually or pretty in one conversation today.
Or try saying "I guess" when you are not sure about something.
Small steps like this build confidence over time.
And confidence helps you speak more naturally.
Before we finish, let's talk about listening.
Yes, listening is just as important as speaking.
When you listen to podcasts, videos, or real conversations, pay attention to these small words.
You'll notice that native speakers repeat them again and again.
That repetition is how your brain learns naturally.
Over time, these expressions will start to feel normal to you.
Now let's give our listeners a simple challenge.
Yes, a small and easy challenge.
Today or tomorrow, try to use at least one everyday expression from this episode in a real conversation.
Or you can say it out loud to yourself if you don't have someone to talk to.
Both ways help your brain practice.
And remember, making mistakes is part of learning.
Exactly, mistakes mean you are trying, and trying means you are learning.
We are very proud of you for practicing English with us.
Thank you for listening to Mr. English Daily and spending this time learning real English.
Keep listening, keep practicing, and keep speaking whenever you can.
We'll see you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone.